Hello and welcome to the Collapse Experiment. Got an article for you today. The 8 habits of smart people who are too lazy to reach their potential. And I have known several people over the years who fit this demographic. Really smart people. They're just too lazy to do anything. And then they wonder, like, I'm 40 years old. Why am I still doing this stupid shit job? Because you're too lazy to find something else. There's a thin line between laziness and untapped potential. Also, for the guys who like shitting on this channel for like the self-improvement type stuff that I do, untapped potential tends to be like a huge turnoff with the women you're always complaining have no interest in you. Because they'll see potential in a dude, and as soon as they realize he's not going to do shit with it, that's when they vamonos out of there. We all know smart people who just can't seem to muster the energy to reach their goals. That's because intelligence isn't the only thing that determines success. Motivation, ambition, discipline, these are just as important. Yeah, all these people who go to college and then expect to get that nice job afterwards when they haven't done shit during college. You know, they went to classes, they got good grades, whatever. They now have $200,000 of student loan debt, but they weren't in any clubs. They didn't have any jobs in the profession that they were planning on going into. They didn't do shit other than go to college and rack up debt. And then they're wondering why they don't stand out to employers who are looking for, I don't know, experience along with a college degree. Below are 8 habits of smart people who are too lazy to reach their potential. Recognize any in your own life. Read on. Number 1, procrastination reigns supreme. Smart folks are known for their ability to solve complex problems and think logically, but that doesn't mean that they're always motivated to put their skills into action. One of the common habits of smart people who are too lazy to reach their potential is chronic procrastination. I have a feeling we're going to see this phrase throughout the article. I bet this is another one written by AI because AI is smart but fucking lazy. And it'll just reuse the same things because there's a word count that has to be met for the criteria of whatever the person put in to AI to write their article for them. They know that they have the capabilities to excel, but continuously put off doing the work. I don't want you. That sounds like work to me. This pattern can be attributed to many factors, including fear of failure, perfectionism, or simply a lack of motivation. Yeah, they don't have it hard. There's a thing about the starving artists. You ever recognize these rock bands? Let's look at rock bands. Their first album, they finally get signed, and they have these songs that they wrote while they're poor, they're broke, they don't know when they're going to get their next meal. They try to do tours, but it's in a van that's 30 years old that one guy might know how to fix something if it breaks on the road while they're trying to get themselves known. And that album is awesome because it connects with a bunch of people who are kind of there, right? Everything just sucks. And it's a whole lot of great albums about everything that just sucks, right? And then their second album comes out and it's like, we have money, we got married, we have kids, everything looks good, look at my fancy house. And then the audience is like, this album sucks, man. Lazy artist. If things are going too good, that's when there's no motivation to make anything better. Overthinking everything. Now, this is a habit I can personally relate to, not me, the article here. As someone who prides themselves on their intellect, I've often found myself stuck in a loop of overthinking. I'll spend hours, even days, mulling over a single decision or a problem, analyzing every possible outcome, every potential pitfall. And while this careful consideration can sometimes be beneficial, more often than not, it just leads to inaction. I worked with a guy who was very much like this. He would just overplan everything. He was a maintenance guy. He'd get these big projects, and it would be weeks of figuring out what kind of materials to use, what are the measurements, how can we order these, what companies do we want to order from. I mean, every detail. It was insane. So yeah, and there are times where it's like 3 months would go by, it'd be announced like, hey, we're going to do this with this room here, and it's going to have all these new features, blah, blah, blah. And then like 3 months go by and we're like, what does this guy actually do here? Because he doesn't have anything else going on. And yet everything is exactly the same. So yeah, lack of physical activity. When it comes to physical activity, there seems to be a surprising correlation with intelligence. A study conducted by the Florida Gulf Coast University found that people with a high IQ are more likely to lead a sedentary lifestyle compared to those with a lower IQ. It's almost like I'm so smart to have other people do my work for me. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of it. Like I will say, like Gen Z tends to be smarter when it comes to things. However, laziest people I have met, a lot of them, not all of them, but they are the first to like, this thing in my car needs to be fixed. I'm thinking, when you take the starter out, it's like 2 bolts. You unplug the wire, you put the new starter in, and you tighten the bolts and plug it back in, and your car works. No, I'm just going to have somebody else do it. Okay, good luck not appreciating your money or learning how to do something for yourself. Like the simplest things, they'd rather just pay somebody else to do. When they always bitch about not having money because they're constantly paying somebody else to do stuff they can do on their own. This could be because smart people are often more engrossed in their thoughts or intellectual pursuits. Video games. It's usually just video games. Leaving little room for physical exertion. But here's the catch. The lack of physical activity can lead to laziness and decreased motivation, forming a vicious cycle that prevents these individuals from reaching their full potential. Lift some weights, dude. Didn't Jordan Peterson talk about that? You need to carry that weight. Number 4, perfectionism paralysis. Perfectionism can be both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it drives us to produce high quality work and strive for excellence. On the other hand, it can lead to what is known as perfectionism paralysis, the fear of making mistakes that can cause us to freeze up and avoid taking action. I've seen quite a bit of this. Many smart people who are too lazy to reach their potential fall into this trap. They are so afraid of not living up to their own high standards. You can't say you have high standards if you're not doing the thing that you're concerned about. This is retarded mentality, okay? Oh, I'm not going to do it perfectly, so I'm just not going to do it at all. I have known some people who bragged about being the best at what they do. While they consistently don't show up for work, leave early, or don't do a very good job at all. They'll have that like 5 minutes of like doing something really good out of an 8-hour shift, and then want to brag the rest of the shift about how awesome they are when other people are doing their fucking work for them the rest of the shift. I have seen this. So yeah, continuing on, they procrastinate, avoid tasks, they give up early or give up entirely because they're scared of producing something that's less than perfect. but you're also not producing anything at all, which does nobody any good, okay? So yeah, I consider that a bullshit excuse. Number 5, fear of failure. Isn't that just copying the one we just read? Perfectionism paralysis, fear of fail. Are we trying to hit the numbers mark again? Like for some reason it's got to be 8 habits. Is that what we're doing? You didn't space these apart? Because it's probably the same thing. A heart can be a fragile thing. Oh my God. Really? We shield it, protect it, and sometimes we let it hold us back. Fear of failure is one of the most potent barriers that smart people who are too lazy to reach their potential often face. This is the exact same thing we just read with number 4. Moving on to number 6, prioritizing comfort over growth. Does this go back to the being too comfortable? Does that go back to procrastination? Okay. I mean, maybe this is a new one. Comfort over growth. I've been there, curled up on the couch with a good book when I should have been working on a project or learning a new skill. No, you were watching Netflix. You were not reading a book. It's easy to choose comfort over growth, to stay within the familiar confines of what we know and do best. Again, starving artist. You need to make yourself uncomfortable if you're going to get shit done. This habit is especially common among smart people who are too lazy to reach their potential. Again, definitely an AI-generated article. They know that they're capable of more, but the immediate gratification of comfort often outweighs the distant reward of growth. Avoidance of responsibility. This is a Gen Z trait. The number of dudes who won't even get a fucking driver's license is insane. Responsibility can be a daunting thing. It requires commitment, accountability, and a willingness to step up when things go wrong. Definitely a Gen Z thing. For some smart people who are too lazy to reach their potential, this can feel like too much to handle. It's easier to stay on the sidelines to avoid taking on risk or roles that demand responsibility, but this habit can keep you stuck in a rut, hinder your growth and potential. I will say, when you get to my age and your boss is trying to get you to take on extra responsibility that you've seen other people, I don't know, get in trouble for while not getting any extra pay, you quickly learn over the years to, no, I'm not doing that. So yeah, I mean, this is a thing. It's easier to stay on the sideline, blah, 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 blah. Taking responsibility doesn't just mean stepping up when things go wrong. It's also about owning your actions, decisions, and their outcomes. It's about being proactive and taking charge of your life. Nobody wants to fucking do that anymore either. Number 8, ignoring personal development. Well, this was something that came up earlier this week. What is the fucking point of learning how to play guitar when it's not going to get you any more than you would before, and you're going to suck and everybody's going to hate you, and it's going to take, 3 to 4 years? Why would I invest that much time into learning how to play guitar? Well, first of all, guitar is not as popular as it used to be, for one. Which actually means you might stand out if you do learn how to play guitar, because it's just not a thing anymore. Because everybody wants to be a fucking DJ these days. DJ, spin that shit. Personal development isn't just about gaining new skills or climbing the career ladder. It's about holistic growth that encompasses all areas of your life: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Smart people who are too lazy to reach their potential often overlook this aspect. They may excel in their professional field, but neglect other areas of their life that contribute to overall happiness and fulfillment. Investing time in personal development is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It helps you become a well rounded individual, improves your quality of life, and enhances your potential for success. Don't ignore personal development. Instead, embrace it as an integral part of your journey towards reaching your full potential. Remember, the aim isn't just to be successful, it's to be a better version of yourself. Final thoughts in this journey, not a destination. Albert Einstein once said, "The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination." Perhaps this is the missing piece of the puzzle for smart people who are too lazy to reach their potential. Y'all ain't got any creativity up in there. They might excel in knowledge acquisition, but lack the imaginative force that drives action and change. Or maybe they're trapped in habits that prevent them from translating their intellectual prowess into tangible success. The path to reaching one's potential is not linear. It's a journey filled with ups and downs, triumphs and failures. It requires self-awareness, continuous learning, and above all, the courage to step out from one's comfort zone. And that's what a lot of people do not want to do. But I'm comfortable here. I love living with mom and dad. So yeah, 8 habits of smart people who are too lazy to reach their potential. So, do you have any of these traits? Is this something you need to change? Because some of these I used to have. We've got procrastination. That was definitely a school thing because I didn't like the work we were doing. I was bored. Lack of physical activity. That was me the last couple years. Perfectionism, paralysis, and fear of failure. I know people that have gone through this. I knew a guy years ago that always wanted to be a writer, writes a book, had I believe he had a creative writing degree, which, I don't know. I think you just read a bunch of stuff and learn to write from what you're reading. Like, I don't understand the whole degree aspect of creative writing. But he ends up writing this book, and then his wife finds him burning it in the backyard. And she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Ah, shit, it's horrible. Nobody needs to read this." So there is like a self-destructive aspect of perfectionism, paralysis, fear of failure. And I, for one, have the belief of let the reader decide. Like, if you have a bunch of readers that tell you like, this book not so good, that's something to consider, especially if you're getting creative criticism. But for the most part, if you wrote something and it's decent and people are telling you that it's pretty darn good, let the readers decide. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Anyways, that's the article for today. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Until then, keep on typing.